Hello everyone, it's Karen and welcome to another video. Now today I'm going to do an album review. Now, before we go any further, I would like to wish all subscribers and viewers a very happy new year. This is the first video of 2024. Hope all the viewers had a good Christmas. I know I did, and hope you all had a good time over the holidays. And so yeah, I wanted to do a video today, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for the first video of the new year. So I thought I would go over an album review, and I just kind of out of nowhere decided to go over Elvis Presley's debut album. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm just going to go over the album's history, show you my copies of the album, go over each track individually, and go give the album as a whole a marking out of 10. So, Elvis Presley was the self-titled debut album for Elvis, released on the 23rd of March 1956 on the RCA Victor label. Now, Elvis had been known for a good 2 years prior to this album. He had released on Sun Records That's Alright Mama in 1954, which was a hit, and had other hits on the Sun label. But he hadn't yet been known. He was only really known in like the southern parts of America, in places like Memphis and stuff like that. But however, by the beginning of by the summer of 1955, a lot of Elvis's records began to make national and country western singles charts, such as Baby Let's Play House and I Forgot and Mystery Train. And Colonel Parker became his manager at this point in time, and he had extensive dealings for RCA Victor to get Elvis onto their label through his previous client, who was the singer Eddie Arnold. And Elvis's contract to Sun was eventually acquired by RCA in November of 1955, and then in January Elvis went into the RCA studios to record his first RCA record, which was Heartbreak Hotel, which was a huge hit in both the US and UK, reaching #1 in America, and all of a sudden people knew who Elvis Presley was, and Elvis was now appearing on television and becoming a big act. And Elvis recorded this album in the RCA Nashville and New York studios in January of 1956 and into February 1956. And he was Elvis Presley and rock and roll were still untested proprieties in major labels in the music business, but this album, along with Heartbreak Hotel, proved the selling power of both, and it was the first RCA pop album to earn $100,000, and in 1956 it sold over 1 million units. The album was a big hit, reached #1 in the US and #1 in the UK, so a big #1 album. And it's regarded as a classic album nowadays. It got a classic albums documentary, which I don't have on DVD yet, but I will definitely get a hold of it. It spent 10 weeks #1 in the Billboard album charts. It was ranked in 2003. It was ranked and in 2012 it was ranked on 56 on the 500 Rolling Stones Greatest Albums. So, and it was also in the book, one of 3 Elvis books to receive accolades in the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. So, yeah, definitely a great album as it's seen by. So, I'm going to show you my copy of the album. Here's the record. This is a 1983 German reissue from the 80s. It's got a different back cover to the original vinyl. Still good to have. I bought this copy from my record shop about a year and a half ago now. So it's good to have this one. And it's on the silver and black RCA label. So the album was a mix of recordings that Elvis did in RCA and also some of the Sun leftovers that never were released. Some stuff that he'd done during the sessions that he was recording his singles from. So here's the vinyl version. Also got it in CD, which I'll show you. This was my first copy of the album, the CD here. This is the 2005 version, and it has bonus tracks, which are Heartbreak Hotel, I Was the One, which was the B-side of Heartbreak Hotel, Lordy Miss Claudia, Shake, Rattle and Roll, My Baby Left Me, and I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, which were all kind of single and EP tracks. That was the back of the original vinyl. And one thing I want to say is the cover. It's such an iconic cover. It's a great picture of black and white Elvis with like his name in colours, which is really cool. And that's the picture I think they used for the cover, or that's an alternate picture from that. Here's the book. Liner notes, recording dates, and whatnot, and pictures. And the second album also got this treatment as well. And some of Elvis's other albums got this kind of release on CD. And I've also got this CD here. This one was from the original Classic Albums box set, which I showed the Rock and Roll No. 2 album in. This was the original vinyl back. I also got this one. This is Rock and Roll. Now this is a UK version of the first album. The original first album in Britain was on the HMV label in 1956, and those pressings are very, very sought after. And this had a completely different track listing to the American version. As you can see, some of the tracks were replaced and some were switched and rearranged. So on the UK version we had I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone, That's Alright, Mystery Train, Lottie Miss Claudine, Shake, Rattle and Roll. And I Got a Woman and I'm Counting on You were switched about. So this one's a 1972 pressing. It's got a picture there from the Comeback special. And it's on the RCA Victor label. So this was a 1972 release. And another CD copy I have is one from the Young Man and Big Beat box set, which is like the 1956 box set. This is the 2011, this was released in 2011, but this is a smaller version of it. And the first disc is the first album with bonus tracks. And it's remastered, so the quality in this is really good. Really improved. And whatnot. So yeah, great box set if you can get your hands on this. So now we're going to go over the album's tracks. So we start off with Blue Suede Shoes. What can you say? How can you start off your first album? This is a great way to start off a debut. Blue Suede Shoes. This was originally a Carl Perkins song, but it's a great opener. It's got the "What's One for the Money," like the way it starts. It just starts off with that, and then it just goes into a kind of rock and roll sort of sound, and it goes into the music, which is great. I like the guitar and the kind of beat to it from Scotty Moore and DJ Fontana, who were Elvis's backing band at the time. Yeah, a great way to start the album. I really like the track, and it was one of Elvis's it does appear on Elvis's greatest hits albums, and it was regarded as a hit. It wasn't issued as a single at the time in America, but in the UK it was issued as the follow-up to Heartbreak Hotel on the HMV label. So yeah, really great track, really great one to start the album on. Then we get I'm Counting on You. Now, before going any further, the track listing I'm reading is the American original version, how they got the album, and how it's been available since. So yeah, got I'm Counting on You. This was recorded at the session that did I Was the One, and it's got a really nice sort of piano to it to start off, and a nice sort of guitar, and Elvis sings the song really nicely, a nice vocal. I really like the backing vocals from the Jordanaires, and the Jordanaires kind of don't get much credit for Elvis's backing as they should, because they were a really great backing quartet, and their voices sort of really blended in really well, and they did really well back in Elvis. So yeah, this is a great one, I'm Counting on You, one that I really like, one that you don't hear too often, but it's a really nice, great song there. Then we have I Got a Woman. I Got a Woman was originally a song by Ray Charles in 1954, and Elvis had recorded it at a Sun session, but it didn't get released, and then he revisited it at the same session that recorded Heartbreak Hotel, which was how it came on this album. And it was recorded at the same session as Heartbreak Hotel, and another track which we'll touch upon later on in January of '56 in Nashville. So yeah, really great one. I like the kind of rhythm to it and the kind of guitar played by Scotty Moore. That's great, and I really like the rhythm to it. It's great rhythm. Ray Charles did a completely different version of the song to Elvis, but again, his version was great as well. This was more kind of up tempo as well, but it was more kind of done in a sort of style of rhythm and blues and kind of jazz a bit. But still, a great version nonetheless. I Got a Woman, great song. One that Elvis would later play live in the intervening years, and even played it live when he did the live performances in the 70s as well. Yeah, great one. Then we have One-Sided Love Affair. One-Sided Love Affair is a great up-tempo song. This was recorded in New York at the sessions that did Blue Suede Shoes. Elvis recorded quite a few songs over a period of those sort of 3 days between January and February of 1956. And One-Sided Love Affair is a great sort of up-tempo song. I really like the piano in it. I really like Elvis's sort of vocal to the song. It's a really great sort of up-tempo rock and roll stuff. I really like the piano bit that goes do 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 do. I really like the piano when it does it in that bit as well. So yeah, great up-tempo song, One-Sided Love Affair. I really like that one. Then we have I Love You Because. Now, I Love You Because, I think was a Hank Williams tune. I could be right or I could be wrong. But that was a song that Elvis had done in the sessions of the first Sun single, That's Alright Mama, in July of 1954 at the Sun. So now I'm going to say a lot of these songs that are on the first album are Sun outtakes, leftovers from the Sun sessions, I should say. So yeah, great song. It's quite a good song. I like it. It's just Elvis and the acoustic guitar. He does a bit of whistling as well at the start of the track. And there was actually a version that came out years later with Elvis doing a speaking intro in the middle, but this was, I think, cut out of this version. And it was an edit of 2 takes, and this was like the 1 take. This is like an alternate version that I'm discussing here, but a good song nonetheless. I Love You Because. It's good, but it's not one that I would consider listening to like outside the album. But still, good song. Then we have Just Because. Now, Just Because was recorded in the September of 1954 at the Sun Studios at the same sessions that did Elvis's second single, Good Rockin' Tonight, and its B-side, I Don't Care If the Sun Don't Shine. So yeah, really, really great, good song. I really like the kind of, it's really kind of, almost kind of skiffle. It sounds almost kind of skiffle type of song, which for those who don't know, for those outside the UK, skiffle was a very sort of big kind of music genre, was a very big music genre back in the 1950s, before kind of rock and roll took off in the UK. Skiffle was kind of big, but it kind of sounds a bit like that as well. So yeah, that's a really good song, Just Because. One that I like quite a bit. Then we turn it over to side 2, and then we get Tutti Frutti. Now, Tutti Frutti was originally a Little Richard song. And Elvis does a good job of it. Little Richard's version is good as well. Elvis recorded this one at the RCA Studios in New York as well, and a good song. Elvis would record quite a lot of Little Richard songs, especially on the second album, which we talked about in another video, which if you want to see that, you can go back and check that one out. But I like that. I quite like this one as well, Tutti Frutti. Don't have much to say about it, but it's a good track. Different, but good cover version. Then we have Trying to Get to You. Now, Trying to Get to You was one that Roy Orbison later did during his Sun years, but Elvis done it in the July of 1955, and it was on the it was during the sessions for the Mystery Train single and I Forgot to Remember to Forget and sessions. And Elvis had actually tried this one in February 1955, I think during the sessions of Baby Let's Play House, which was done at the same time as I Got a Woman. Again, that version never come out. Good song, Trying to Get to You. I really like the kind of guitar and the beat to it. A good song, really like this one quite a lot. And Elvis did do Trying to Get to You at times live. He did it during one of the sit down shows in the Comeback Special, and he also done it on the CBS TV special Elvis in Concert. But I don't think that made the special, but it was on the album version of Elvis in Concert. So yeah, one that Elvis will often come back to live over the years. Then we have I'm Gonna Sit Right Down and Cry Over You. This is a good kind of up-tempo song. Again, recorded in New York in the January of '56, and a really good song. This one was one that the Beatles done live at the BBC, and I think I like the Beatles version a bit more over Elvis's version, but Elvis' version is good. But I think I prefer the Beatles version from 1963 at the BBC, so yeah. But a good song, but it's not one that I would consider listening to outside the album, or indeed for the 56 Sessions volumes for that matter, so. But not bad, good song. Then we have I'll Never Let You Go, Little Darling. I'll Never Let You Go, Little Darling is a Sun outtake from September 1954. Again, at the same sessions for Good Rockin' Tonight, and the one that Just Because was recorded at as well. Not a bad song. It kind of starts off slowly, a kind of slow song with the guitars, and then it picks up and Elvis goes, well, and then it sort of picks up and goes a bit, and I quite like that bit where it sort of changes, where it just sort of goes slow, and then about a minute and a half later it just picks up and Elvis goes, well, and then it picks up and just gets a bit up tempo. So yeah, that's a good song, I'll Never Let You Go, Little Darling. Then we have Blue Moon. Blue Moon would later become a hit for the Marcells in 1961. But Elvis recorded Blue Moon, this song, in August 1954 in the Sun Studios. And this was one that had never been released as a single on Sun. So this was during one of the Sun sessions. It like the... It's kind of like a quieter song. It's got and you have to go Blue Moon. You saw this in I think there's a bit where he doesn't remember the words, so he just does. He kind of does that, and that's quite good. It's quite like, it's a nice kind of soft song, but it's kind of it's got a sort of a mid-tempo range to it. yeah, but the thing about the track, I know it was in the era it was recorded in, the quality in that is, it's a bit hard to hear some of the instruments because of the kind of ambient noise a bit in the background. But then again, it was 1950s technology, so but yeah, not a bad track, still a good one. I really like that one, Blue Moon. That Blue Moon has appeared on many Sun collection albums, as has the 4 Sun songs I've just mentioned here. They appeared on various compilation albums on the Sun collection. Might actually do a video on Elvis' Sun career and other as well at some point. And the last track up is Money Honey. Money Honey was recorded at the same time as Heartbreak Hotel and I Got a Woman, same session. And we're at the kind of it's an up-tempo little kind of rock rhythm and blues type of song. One that I like, good way to close the album. Really great one. I like the guitar bit in the middle from Scotty Moore again. Scotty Moore, what a great guitar player he was in Elvis's band. So yeah, really great song to close the album with, Money Honey. So that's it for this review. Hope you liked this video. So in my opinion, the album gets a 10 out of 10. It is a great debut album, and at the time there wasn't really much, people never really heard pop music on an album. It really only, you can only really hear them on like the 45 or the 45 RPM single, or even the 78 for that matter. But this was definitely an album that changed popular music and pop music history in a sense, and it really kind of started a revolution in later years. And the album trend in later years, it kind of started it off was probably this album. Even though we had people like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra recording albums, you know, there wasn't anything that was sort of life-changing and interesting as Elvis's first album was. And brilliant debut album. It's one that I really enjoyed, and I know it's many people's favourite Elvis album. And even though I do prefer the second album over this is still a really good one. Also later on in that period, as I say, Elvis recorded Shake, Rattle and Roll and Lordy Miss Claudie, which were both available on an EP, and next single was I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, which is a great song. It was followed for Heartbreak Hotel as well. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed that. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, if you want to see more video. And if you like this album as well, leave a comment down below. And we'll see you again for the next video.